A second one for the love of Fatima to Zahra alayha salam. And a third one with a loud voice for our living Imam, Imam Zaman alayhi salam. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا ونبينا وحبيب قلوبنا أبي القاسم مصطفى محمد اللهم صل وعلى أهل البيته الطيبين الطاهرين ولعنة الله على أعدائهم أجمعين من الآن إلى يوم الدين أما بعد. I want to take tonight, since it's the last night, and again I thank everyone who have come from the beginning until tonight, the board, and everyone who have benefited from these lectures. I want to take tonight and I'm going to divide it into two. The first part, I want to speak about the secrets that Allah left for us to benefit from. You see, there is some treasures that Allah left for us to benefit from those who took part in the greatest victory. Right? He left some benefits for us, just like the rings we wear, right? Each ring have a specific benefit to it. If you wear a feroz, Imam Rida alayhi salam says the secret of the feroza is whoever wear a feroz from Mashhad, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will open the doors of rizq, inshallah. And he will finish whatever task he has in front of him. Not that the stone will do it. Don't get me wrong, we don't want to do shirk this. But these are just blessings that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed us with to benefit from. Right? Just like He promises hardship and difficulties. But He blesses us with the Akika Yemeni. Right? It says who wear the Akika Yemeni, Allah will protect them from difficulties and bala. And there are other secrets out there that Allah left for us. Tonight I want to emphasize on the most important secret and the most blessed gift that Allah left for us so that we can benefit from it, help us getting closer to Allah and preparing ourselves for our akhirah. Salawat, and we will start. You see, one of the secrets that Allah left for us as Shi'as to benefit from and take advantage from is the ziyarat of Abdullah al-Hussain. To the point where if you truly accept the wilayat of Amir al-Mu'mineen full-heartedly, it is said that one of the secrets of the ziyarat for the Shi'as is that it become wajib on us. The ziyarat become wajib on us. This is why it is said visiting the grave of Imam al-Hussain alayhi salam is recommended, while emphasis upon visiting his grave is among the necessities of the religion. This ziyarat, we finish commemorating everything that happened. You will see now people are preparing themselves to go to one of the greatest victory that has been formed, and every year it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger because of love, that amana that the Imam manifested is the ziyarat of Arba'in. You see, everybody is going to get ready now to go to Arba'in. But the question is, are we going there with full understanding and ma'rifah of the Imam, like we say, jituka arifan haqqik. Do we fully, to reap that full benefit of the ziyarat of Abdullah al-Hussain, you have to know him through his utmost. Just like one of my teachers, the grandson of Ayatollah al-Qadi, Sayyid al-Qadi, his grandson was one of my teachers of akhlaq. And he gave us a story. He said that one day, Azuwar came to visit Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam. And this, he came and visit Sayyid al-Qadi. And, they was talking, they was having a conversation. But what Sayyid al-Qadi was trying to have him understand, that the ziyarat that you have come here to Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam will only have its true value, his true benefit, if you know the true wilayat of Amir al-Mu'mineen. If you know the true wilayat of Amir al-Mu'mineen. Going there is blessings, many blessings. We will go through some of them. But going there, knowing their true rights and the rights of all of the A'imma, you will see how fruitful this ziyarat will be. Salawat. First secret of the ziyarat of Abu Abdullah al-Hussain. It is said that Rasulullah will take the zuwar by the hand. The zuwar mean those who goes there. The za'ir, the zuwar, those who go visit. He said Rasulullah will take the zuwar by the hand and save them from the hardships of the day of judgment. See, everything the Imam did. Now Allah is blessing us. You see, when we pray, it's not for Allah, it's for us. The love of Abu Abdullah al-Hussain alayhi salam is not for Allah, it's for us. We benefit through it. This is why Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam, salawat, he narrates, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam visited us one day. We offered him a plate full of dates and a cup of milk and butter, which had been sent to us from Ayman. After he ate, I rose and poured some water over his hands and washed them. Then I wiped his face and beard with the water from his hands. Then he went to a corner of the house and began to pray. When he went into sujood, he began to weep. The first person who ever wept for Abu Abdullah al-Hussain was his grandfather Rasulullah. He began to weep. After weeping for a long time, he raised his head. Then Hussain alayhi salam went and climbed on the lap of Rasulullah. Hussain alayhi salam placed Rasulullah head on his chest and then laid his chin on top of the head of Rasulullah. Then he said, Ya Rasulullah, what causes you to weep? Rasulullah replied, O my son, when I see you, Ahlul Bayt, today I felt such happiness that I had never felt before. But then Jibreel alayhi salam came to me and informed me that each of you will be martyred and that your graves will be far from each other. I praised Allah and asked him to bless you with the best. This is the secret. Imam Al-Hussain alayhi salam asked, "Oh, my grandfather, who will perform the ziyarat of our graves and maintain their oaths with them even though they are far from each other?" Rasulullah replied, "Those from my ummah, my community, my nation, who seeks my pleasure and seeks nearness to me by performing ziyarat of your graves. On the day of judgment, I will search for them." Rasulullah says now he will search. He said, Salawat. He said, I will search for them and take them by the hand and save them from the hardships and tribulations of that day. One of the secrets of the ziyarat of Abu Abdullah al-Hussain. You see, all of this that we've been commemorating for is all victory, is all reward for our benefit. Going to that ziyarat of Abu Abdullah al-Hussain, inshallah, Allah give us all the tawfiq to go to that ziyarat. The Prophet is saying, he who visits Abu Abdullah al-Hussain, he will search for you and protect you and take you away from whatever hardship and difficulty of that day. Salawat. Another blessing of the ziyarat of Abu Abdullah al-Hussain alayhi salam is how much angels go there and pray. Some narration said that it's so much that it takes certain amount of years for one of them to go and pray. And he who do that ziyarat, it says, Al-Mala'ikat al-Muqarrabin, the highest angels, will ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive you. Subhanallah. See these secrets that are left for us to take benefits from? He said, Imam Jafar al-Sadiq alayhi salam narrates, there are 4,000 angels covered with dust by the grave of Hussain. They weep over him and will continue to do so until the day of judgment. Their leader is an angel named Mansur. These angels receive all who come for the ziyarat of Abu Abdullah al-Hussain. Subhanallah. The angels receive all who come for the ziyarat of al-Hussain alayhi salam, and the angels accompany them when they bid farewell to Hussain. The angels visit them if they become ill and pray over them as at their funerals and seek forgiveness from them after their death. Subhanallah. You see the values of these ziyarat, the importance of these ziyarat. Imam Jafar al-Sadiq again narrates, I heard my father, Imam Muhammad al-Baqir alayhi salam, salawat. Inshallah, we're just going over the importance of the ziyarat so that when we go there, we can take full benefit and understand why Allah blessed us with this. So that we don't let it go. I lived there I have seen so many people lose that blessing from the ziyarat living there. I don't want that for us. We want to go there and benefit from it. He said, I heard my father, Imam Muhammad al-Baqir alayhi salam, ask one of his servants who had just asked him regarding the ziyarat of Imam al-Hussain alayhi salam. To whose ziyarat are you going and whom do you seek to please by going to this ziyarat? The servant replied, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. My father, Imam Baqir alayhi salam, said, those who establish one salat, one, behind the grave of Abdullah Hussain alayhi salam, seeking the nearest of Allah, and Allah will meet him on the day of judgment. How? Shining so brightly that the light emanating from him will cover everything that sees them. Allah will honor him and those who perform the ziyarat of Imam al-Hussain alayhi salam and will prevent the hellfire from touching him. Subhanallah. I'm going in 3 weeks. Who want to go with me? 3 weeks I will be there, inshallah. I'm willing to take everyone. You want to come, we'll go. Because I want to be protected from the hellfire. My father, Imam Muhammad al-Baqir alayhi salam, said, those who establish one salat behind the grave of Imam al-Hussain alayhi salam is seeking the nearness of Allah, and Allah will meet him on the day of judgment, shining so brightly that the light emanating from him will cover everything. Subhanallah. Allah will honor him who performed the ziyarat of Imam al-Hussain and will prevent the hellfire from touching them. They will not be prevented from coming to the pool of Al-Kawthar, and none shall precede them. Subhanallah. Salawat. Even when there is hardship and difficulty, the Imam is saying, don't even fear to come to us. Even when there's hardship. And I know it because when Daesh first came into Iraq, ISIS, I was there. And every opportunity I had to go to Imam al-Askari, I would go. Because the Imam said, our ziyarat, he who go towards our ziyarat, and anything happened to him on the way, he get the same reward as a shaheed. See? Imam Jafar al-Sadiq alayhi salam said, do not neglect performing the ziyarat of Abdullah al-Hussain due to fear. He who abandons the ziyarat of Abdullah al-Hussain for any reason will regret it so much that he will wish that his grave was next to him. Do you not desire of Allah to see you among those whom Rasulullah, Amir al-Mu'mineen, Sayyidah Fatima, and the Imams alayhi salam pray for? Wow. What better honor than that? Rasulullah, Amir al-Mu'mineen, Sayyidah Fatima, and all of the Imams will pray for you. They are alive. Don't the Quran said, he who dies in the way of Allah, he is living? Even if you don't see it, hear it. This is why it is said, whoever goes to the ziyarat of Amir al-Mu'mineen and all of the A'immas, and you send your salutation to him, he replies back. There is no one that goes there and says, Assalamu alayka ya Abdullah al-Hussain, and don't get that salam back. He who abandons the ziyarat of a Hussain for any reason will regret it so much that he will wish that his grave was next to him. Do you not desire for Allah to see you among those whom Rasulullah, Amir al-Mu'mineen, Sayyidah Fatima, and the Imams pray for? Do you not desire to be among those who return with forgiveness for their past sins? That's one of the blessings of ziyarat. Whoever goes there, he comes back like a newborn baby. If you really benefited from it and change every disease you had before you went there. Just like Hajj. Salawat. One of the ways for Allah to give you more, give you abundance, is when you spend on the way to the ziyarat of our a'immas. You spend on the way and you will see how abundance you will come, how your reward will become. I have seen people gone to ziyarat, lost their job telling them, if you go, you lose your job. Wallah, I have seen people gone to ziyarat, have come to me, Shaykh, I have just left a $20,000 contract, but I had to come to ziyarat. Or I have lost my job coming to ziyarat. When they come back and call me, they are way more happier than when they even left. When Allah takes something away for His cause, He replaces it with something better. Salawat. Imam Jafar as-Sadiq alayhi salam said, the days which one spends performing the ziyarat of Abdullah Hussain are not counted as part of their lives. Those days do not deduct from their appointed lifespan. Zaid, He will give you. The Quran says, for one, He gives you 7. Don't be afraid to go to the ziyarat in any instance. Anything happen, you get the reward of shaheed. Great honor. You go to the ziyarat, Fatima Zahra will pray for you. Rasulullah will pray for you. You see the blessings of this ziyarat? Now, this one ziyarat that is very special, a ziyarat that only those who truly love Abdullah al-Hussain will undertake that journey. Put themselves through some hardship and difficulty. That walk from Karbala from Najaf to Karbala ain't easy. It's not. But you see, true love. This is why Imam al-Askari says that one of the sign of a true believer is the one who performed the ziyarat of Abdullah al-Hussain in Arba'in. True love. This is something that I can't even explain it. What is the best of deeds? Salim ibn Mukarram al-Jamal narrates, I asked about Abdullah, Imam Jafar as-Sadiq. Sometimes when you read narrations and you see about Abdullah, is Imam Jafar as-Sadiq. He said, I asked Abu Abdullah Imam Jafar as-Sadiq alayhi salam regarding the ziyarat of Abu Abdullah al-Hussain. He replied, it is the best of deeds. The best of deeds. Why? Because the ziyarat of Abu Abdullah al-Hussain, and I will say it again, yamitu shahawat fi nafsik. Meaning that you will come back clean, reborn, ready to fulfill your utmost potential. Ziyarat of Abdullah al-Hussain. Imam Reza alayhi salam, and I will recite this last one, and then we will go to Imam Zain al-Abidin alayhi salam. Imam Reza alayhi salam says, those who perform the ziyarat of the grave of Abu Abdullah Hussain alayhi salam by the shores of the river are like those who have performed the ziyarat of Allah on his arsh. Subhanallah. Those who want their time of death to be easy, those who want their fare for that which will come on the day of judgment to be reduced, and those who want to be able to look upon Allah on the day of judgment shall perform the ziyarat of Abdullah Hussain as much as possible. The ziyarat of Abdullah Hussain is the ziyarat of Rasulullah. Salawat. Another salawat would allow word for our living Imam. I will quote this last hadith and then we will go to Imam Zain al-Abidin. Salawat. He who is going through financial difficulties, who is going through hardship, who wants to open a business, who wants to do anything to establish the way of Imam Zaman or for Allah, Imam Muhammad al-Baqir alayhi salam says, inform our Shia to perform the ziyarat of the grave of Abu Abdullah Hussain alayhi salam. Performing his ziyarat increase risk, sustenance. When I was living in Najaf, wallah, I never worried about anything. Anything. Everything was there. The Imam just made it. Besides all the other hardship and difficulty, I'm talking about financial difficulty. Difficulty is promised to everyone. It's promised. But financial difficulty, whenever I will find myself to the point that I would want to come back here, I will go do the ziyarat. Wallah, one time I went to the ziyarat of Amir al-Mu'minin alayhi salam. I was with my family at that time. I will tell you, these doors of risk. And we was going through the hardest difficulty because there's no more work. So whatever money you have, it's nothing coming in. The office that the Marajas, what they give us, alhamdulillah, is barakah. I remember one day going to Amir al-Mu'minin alayhi salam, and I told him, you brought me here. I came here not for the hawza, for you. I don't want to go back, but I need to go home and I need to provide simple meal. There is a masjid in a place called Al-Huwaish. Inshallah, when we go there, I will take you. This is where we go get our Hausa books. Al-Huwaish, there is a masjid, Masjid Al-Ansari. This is where Imam Khomeini used to first write his letters or have his classes of Walayatul Faqih. Masjid Al-Ansari. I went there one day, right after the Haram, to pray. Masjid Ansari has it where there is a bathroom next to it. If you use that bathroom, he has this thing where he wants you to make wudu and make 2 rakahs in the masjid. I went there for Salat al-Zuhr and Asr, right after the Haram. After coming from the Haram, right after Zuhr, someone sits next to me. I don't know him. Sits next to me, looks at me, and hands me something. He said, don't open it till I leave. And he left And when I opened it, it was enough for me to make sure my family had something to eat. This is what the ziyarats do. Sincere. If you sincerely go knowing the rights of the Imam. I don't know them. I'm trying to. And inshallah we will know them together. But this is what the ziyarat do. Not only that it gives you risk, it prolongs your life. Imam Muhammad al-Baqir said, inform our Shias to perform the ziyarat of the grave of Abdullah al-Hussain. Performing his ziyarat increases rizq, sustenance, prolong life, and keeps afflictions away. Performing keeps affliction away. Then he goes and he said, performing his ziyarat. This is performing his ziyarat is wajib upon every mu'min, not Muslim, mu'min. Because in fiqh, for you to become a mu'min is by accepting the wilayat of Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib. Salawat. He says, performing his ziyarat, it is wajib, obligatory, upon every mu'min who believes, who have the same aqaidi believe with Abu Abdullah al-Hussain, meaning knowing that he is masoom and everything that goes with it has been divinely appointed by Allah as an imam. Subhanallah. That's the first secret. The second secret was given to us by Imam Zain al-Abidin alayhi salam. You see, when Imam left from Kufa to Sham, and all of the difficulties that they was going through, and all of the stones that was being thrown after them, and from Sham to Medina, you see, this is where the difficult part came for the Imam. This is where the difficult part came for the Imam. When the Imam came to Medina, at that time, you see this victory that the Imam, Hussain, and those Sahabas did. After that is when Yazid became the most scary. He was so scared, and this was the time that the Mohs revolution started. He didn't stay long after that. He didn't stay long. Many came, tried to take over. But you see, the Imam, he stayed quiet. To the point that they didn't even wanted the Shias to come and visit the Imam. The first thing the Imam did upon entering Medina was to teach the people and inform the people of the hardship and difficulties that they went through in Karbala, so that we can keep in constant remembrance. We can keep purifying ourselves through the remembrance of the tragedy of Karbala. This was the first thing he started to establish. It became to a point where the Imam now, he couldn't see no one. He wasn't involved in anything for a reason. Because whenever they would try to come and take over, if he probably was involved, they would have tried to kill him. But he wanted, at that time, where all his diseases was manifested, when their hearts were disconnected from Allah, he wanted to take that time to educate us. So how did the Imam do it? And he did it in such a way that he left us a secret that many of us have in our house and we don't benefit from it. It is said that the Imam will spend his time in sujood. This is why he's called Imam Sajjad, the one who always in prostration. The Imam used to always spend his time in supplication, in dua. But you see, these du'as wasn't just dua. These du'as was a teaching for us to benefit from. Because if he didn't do that in that time, imagine where the state of Islam, as far as that oneness with Allah, would have been today. The Imam, he taught us these things. And it became compiled in a book called Sahifa Sajadiyah. This is the second thing that was given to us throughout this whole battle. The ziyarats, the benefits, but more important, Sahifa Sajadiyah. This in itself is a class. It's not dua. In form of dua. From the first dua, you will see that if you don't know the attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and how Allah manifests these attributes, you go to the first dua. If you want to know how to establish true brotherhood, true sisterhood, a true community, go to Sahifa Sajadiyah. If you having problems with paying bills or anything, Sahifa Sajadiyah. If you want to know your rights between you and Allah and everyone, the Imam give it to us in Sahifa Sajadiyah. These are the things that the Imam left for us so we can benefit from them. They're not just dua. This is the way that we can learn so that we can connect, truly understand Allah, Rasulullah, and our a'immat Ahlul Bayt. The Imam was such in a state. The Imam was such in a state. Coming from Karbala, it is said that he lived about 33 years after that. He didn't get involved in nothing. All he wanted to do was educate us. All he wanted to do was teach us and show us that these diseases will not do anything for us. He didn't want us to become like those enemies, those cruel people, those animals who did what they did to Abdullah Hussain. The Imam was in such a state that the Shias couldn't come to him. But they were so afraid that the Shias would get strong again, that they came to the Imam after the Imam saw everything in the state that he was in. They came and they poisoned him. Imam Zainul Abidin alayhi salam became Shaheed through poison. Imagine the poison going through the body of. He was already in so much pain that he couldn't even stand after Karbala. It is said that the Imam would have to stand on a pole. His back was so broken in so much pain that they came and they poisoned him. Imagine the poison going through the body of the Imam. When you go to a camp and you see a sign of a snake poisoning you, what is the first thing they say? Hurry up, run to the hospital. They kept the Imam in the room and they would watch the Imam suffer. After all that suffering he went through, even though the Imam was going through that pain, he summoned his son. He said, bring me the Imam. He was young at that time. He said, bring me Muhammad al-Baqir. I have to tell him something. It is said while the Imam was going through that pain of poison that was going through his veins, and the Imam couldn't take it no more. His body was becoming pale now, and the poison was taking its effect. The Imam would look at Imam al-Baqir alayhi salam, and he would tell the Imam, I wanted to teach you one thing. Whenever you see somebody weak, disabled, you never inflict harm on him. Never inflict harm on him. The Imam was such in a state that he was about to go now. The poison is going through his bodies and veins. The Imam is about to leave us now. Imam al-Baqir is looking at him. Imam al-Baqir is remembering all of the suffering and calamities that the Imam went through. It is said now that the Imam died. The poison took his life away. But this is the sad part. This is the sad part now. Imam al-Baqir now, when he went to do the ghusl of the Imam, he remembered when they were walking from Sham to Medina. They was having a parade. And this guy, he came and he asked, why are they having a parade? What's going on? And they said that they just murdered the family of Rasulullah because they went against the Khalifa of that time. And then that same guy looked at a few people now, and he goes to them and he asks them, why are you guys crying and beating your chest while those people over there are rejoicing? He looks at them and he said, and they looked at him and said, do you know these people who are walking? Do you even have one knowledge of them? This is the house of Fatima. This is the house of Rasulullah. It is said now that the guy now, he started going to this caravan and he started looking at them and he's seeing this guy walking with his back. Rasulullah never wore red. Why is he wearing red clothes? It is said that when the man approached the Imam now, he realized that the red clothes was not red. It was the blood of the Imam from the chains that he had around his neck. It was the blood of the Imam from the shackles he had in his hands. The blood of the Imam from the shackles he had. Imam al-Baqir would remember this. It is said that the hardest spot of Imam al-Baqir was when he went to do the ghusl of his father, and he was about to give him the ghusl and put the shroud on him. After 33 years of the Imam suffering, he would see the marks of Allah. He would see the marks on his neck from the shackles that they would put on his neck. The Imam, it was difficult for him to watch his father in such a state. Not only that you keep him away from his Shias, not only that you deprive him away from teaching, not only that you allow him to witness almost 17 of his family members being massacred in a way and in such a state to then poison him, Not only poison him, the Imam is saying, I cannot do the ghusl. It's hard on me to see the state of my father in his deathbed with the shackles still around his neck. Ya Allah. The chains are still around his hands. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us the tawfiq to purify our hearts and to go and do the ziyarat of Abu Abdullah al-Hussain. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us that tawfiq and that marifa to understand the status and the station of our ai So when we go to them and we say, Jituka arifan haqqik, we benefit and reap from all of the treasures that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us through them, so that we benefit from it. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Matamtil Hussain, Ya Hussain.